What's up, Twitch chat, man? What's up to the YouTube viewership? You know, what's up to all you guys that come by every Tuesday night to the Needed Podcast, man? I appreciate my guys in the back doing a lot of work to keep this show rolling, man. And, I really struggle from time to time to come up with things to talk about on the show because, there's been no real games played in probably a month and a half now to really talk about. That's what I really love talking about. But EA continues to give me things to talk about, and I really appreciate them for that. And I really do look forward to talking about some of those things. I'm not necessarily going to kill them all the way, man. When I actually put my effort and my thoughts and my time to sit down and really write a big description of all the things I really want to throw them under the bus for, it's going to be a real elaborate show, a real couple hours worth of commentary for that show. But we will do some killing this show. It will get good. It will get entertaining. But I'm not going to start with that, man. I got to start with this weekend, and it was the divisional rounds of the playoffs. And honestly, so far, I mean, between me and you guys, outside of the Eagles games, man, the NFL playoffs have been pretty disappointing as a whole. They really have been kind of one of the more disappointing NFL playoffs we've seen in a while. Most of these games have been pretty boring, one-sided, and really not entertaining. But the Eagles games, geez, I mean, shoot, I'd talk about being on the edge of my seat for both games, not only the Bears games, but also with this last game against the Saints, man. But like I said, the divisional round, the Colts, it just showed, the most thing about the divisional round showed was how much that week off and how much that extra week to prepare, to rest, that home field advantage, how much it really means, and how much the regular season is important in the NFL. It's so much more important in the NFL than any other sport. That's why, those 16 games and a home field advantage means that much more in football, man, because the Colts, after playing good defense in the first round and really boxing Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins and them, they really completely struggled in Kansas City. They couldn't move the ball. They gave up the easiest touchdown in the world. That game was over fast. And the same thing with the Cowboys game wasn't that bad. I didn't think it was close, but it wasn't that much of a blowout. That's mostly because I don't think the Rams are that great. I think the Rams are good. They have an elite running back. They have an elite offensive line. They have some elite players on defense, but I don't think that team is that. Their coach really has installed that system. It's definitely their coach is elite. Their running back and offensive line is elite. And like I said, they got Donald, Sue, a couple other players that can play on defense, but I don't think the quarterback's elite. I don't think, the wide receiver core is elite. So I don't think that highly of the Rams. But they definitely took care of the Cowboys, and as they should. I don't think the Cowboys are that good either. They're not an elite team either. They're a decent football team that it's tough to go on the road and win in a divisional round. We saw that, obviously. But the Rams took care of business. The Chiefs took care of business. And then the Patriots just kicked the hell out of the Chargers, who like I told you guys, I thought the Cowboys would win. I thought the Chargers would go into New England and knock out the Patriots. But every time we seem to count the Patriots out, Brady's getting old. The team, they don't have any defenders. Belichick's defense is outdated. Everything he wants to do, he can't stop none of these new teams. Man, the Patriots just kicked the hell out of the Chargers, man. And we're going to talk about, last week we talked about the Chargers being able to stop the run with DBs. This week they didn't stop anything. This week they got, and not only did the DBs got blocked, but their front line got just killed. The front line got killed. The front line got moved around fairly easily, and they just got beat on both sides of the ball in the trenches, and that game wasn't close. So those three games absolutely were not close. Then the Eagles game, man. I was excited for the Eagles. They came out like gangbusters. They caught a pick on the first play, man. First play, Breeze gets picked off by this Cravon LeBlanc. Cravon LeBlanc, I believe, was on the Bears. I think his card in Mutt is on the Bears, and for some reason he's on the Eagles. Boom. So Cravon LeBlanc picked Drew Brees the first play. Eagles went right down the field. Nick Foles looked like he was still in Super Bowl form. Right down the field, 7-0. Stopped him 3-and-out. Another scores, 14-0. Stopped him again. It was looking like, dude, we're gonna walk away with this. And then Foles do one pick. And then they stopped them again, but they got this one fake punt. Then they drove down the field. I really thought the defense all day, after being hurt, everybody being injured, especially in the secondary. Everybody's hurt in the secondary. They're down to Avonte Maddox, who was a 4th or 5th round pick, and he just started playing. Rasul Douglas, who was a 5th string corner, but he got hurt in the middle of the game, and they had to bring in this kid named Josh Hawkins, who I don't even think he's on Madden right now, and he's number 48. And when you got a number 48 playing in DB for you, it might get dark. So, especially corner. And then, I mean, after that, it was just, and I really felt, even with these guys, even with Fletcher Cox missing half of the game, he only played like 50% of the snaps. For Fletcher Cox is really low. He's the most down. He's the only elite player they have on D. Malcolm Jenkins is up there too, but Fletcher Cox is the only elite player. He's a difference maker, especially with the Eagles. What they do on defense is just rush that 4, mix up the coverages a little bit in the secondary. Fletcher Cox is an elite part of that defense, and he's a much needed part of that defense. So for him to miss half of the game really hurt. And like I said, Michael Bennett got hurt. A lot of people were really banged up that game, and they really held New Orleans. They really kept them in check. There was no huge plays. They really stopped the run very well. They just didn't really get off the field on 3rd down. That's what killed them. That's what killed them defensively. And after that second drive on offense, from the second drive all the way to that last drive where they had the ball, I felt like they didn't move the ball at all, man. There was nothing going from offensive after they really got boxed. I think Nick Foles went back into regular Nick Foles mode. He kind of lost that edge and lost that elite style that he was playing it. And that definitely hurt, man. And them not scoring points, I came into the game, what I really thought about in that game was that the Eagles scored 30 points, they can win the game. I mean, I know I troll a lot on Twitter, man. I say wild things, but I really thought the Eagles needed to score 30. But I thought it would be a really difficult game. The Saints are damn near unbeatable in the Dome in any year. Even when they're like a bad team or an average team, they're still great in the Dome, man. And Drew Brees obviously is a Hall of Famer. But I thought if they scored 30 points, they would win. And that's the way the defense definitely kept them in the game, to the point where they would have scored one more touchdown or they would have made one more play on offense, man. They come out of there with a win, especially if it was early when they had the Saints on the ropes, man. But I was really proud of the Eagles. They definitely, finished the season really strong. But this shows, like I told you about that bye, man, it shows you that the regular season in NFL means so much. You can't go ahead. You can't start. You can't be, 3-6 or 3-5 to successfully make far runs in the playoffs. You have to have that bye. You have to have some type of home field, man. And that's why the Patriots have been so successful. Not only, obviously they're in a terrible division, so it pretty much gives them a first-round bye and home field advantage every single year, man. And you're going to make a hard life trying to go on the road and win 3 games in the playoffs, or even win 2 games on the road in the playoffs. That's definitely going to be something that's going to be hard. And you can't make a living off that, man. And the way I feel like even if the Eagles are playing this year, the way they were this year, which wasn't that dominant of a team, if they had these games at home, man, I really think they'd be the favorite in all of them, and vice versa, man. And when they're on the road, it's really tough to win. But the Eagles definitely put up a big fight in that game. I was definitely proud of them. As far as Nick Foles and Carson Wentz, that's something I definitely will get into in the future shows. There's just so much to talk about now that's something we can definitely talk about when there's no Madden to talk about. Is the Nick Foles, Carson Wentz thing. But it definitely was a good one. And as far as the next week, I got to pick the Saints. I don't think Jared Goff has the cojones to go into New Orleans and win the Dome unless Gurley runs for 300 yards. I think Sheldon Rankins, who is the damn good defensive tackle, the young cat they got in New Orleans, I think he tore his Achilles too, along with Brandon Brooks. And that's going to be a big loss when it's time to defend Todd Gurley. That's the biggest difference between the Rams and the Eagles, is the Rams have an elite running back and the Eagles have me and you playing running back. So I definitely still going to pick the Saints in that game. I think Drew Brees will definitely have a good game, but I think it's their Super Bowl to get to. When New Orleans gets home field like that, they got to go ahead and get to the Super Bowl. It'd be very disappointing if the Saints don't get to the Super Bowl when they get home field and they're one of the elite teams in the NFL. So I'm definitely picking the Saints in that one. The AFC, man, this is pretty much what we've all wanted all year round. Pretty much was Patriots and Kansas City. I don't think this is perfect. It really is, because as a coach, Bill Belichick has Andy Reid's number. Andy Reid always plays him tight. It's never a blowout, but he just always loses, man. He always lays down one way or the other. And so that's the advantage we got to give Big Bill Belichick, just a huge advantage over Andy Reid. You still got to give Brady the edge over Mahomes, but then you flip the home field. It's not in New England, it's in Kansas City. So that kind of brings it all the way even, man. And it's exactly where I think we all wanted to be. I know it's the late game, man, so it's definitely going to be a crazy one, man. I'm definitely rooting for the Chiefs. As an Eagles fan, it's nice to see Andy Reid finally win a Super Bowl. Man, it really is. I honestly, the four best teams all year probably in these final four games, and that's what we deserve. That's pretty much what we've been waiting to. So as far as that, I think Andy Reid gets it done. I think we're gonna have Chiefs and New Orleans. We're just going both 1 seeds, chalk all the way through the playoffs. Both 1 seeds to the Super Bowl, Chiefs and New Orleans, and we'll talk about them when we get to it. But that's what I picked. I think the Chiefs will get Brady, and New Orleans will get knock off Goff. But this, like I picked that. But like I said, we're gonna go back to the Eagles game because this is the one thing that drove me crazy about the game, man. Obviously, we all saw how it ended. We saw the drop slant by Alshon Jeffrey and the pick. That's how it ended. I will tell you, from Eagles fan to Saints fan to Cowboys fan, whoever was watching that game, man, when they missed that field goal and the Eagles were only down 6, we all thought Nick Foles was going to get it done again. We all thought it was going to happen. We thought he was going to go down the field and he was going to get 7, 21-20. And there's some things in this game that correlate directly with Madden, and that's why I'll go to the What Would a Madden Player Do segment. And I'm going to talk about this Eagles game, and it's the last 3 minutes of the game, both from the Saints' direction and both from the Eagles' direction. And let me bring these Saints highlights up. I don't really like watching this game anymore because obviously it ended in a bad light for me. But this right here, the Saints are up 6 points. They had just ran into field goal range. Here we go. Kamara just ran into field goal range. He finally busts a run. I think that's what happened. Yeah, here we go. 1st and 10. They're up 6 points, which means that, man, we all know what this means. If they get another field goal with the time, the Eagles have wasted a timeout, which they never did. They never do under Doug Peterson was waste timeouts, but they wasted timeout like the second play of the second half, which was terrible. But with the time on the clock, the way the Eagles have played offense, and the way the Saints have played offense, both the Saints taking the whole clock with them and the Eagles not doing anything. If the Saints get another field goal here, the game is over. That's how I felt. That's how everybody pretty much felt. And what happens is we'll get this run right here from Kamara busting up, and he gets 12 yards. He's in field goal range. If you're coaching either team in the dome, Will Lutz has been a good kicker this year. He's in field goal range. As far as I'm concerned, if I'm Sean Payton, the next 3 plays are all runs. If I'm in Madden, the equivalent to this in Madden is probably 3 minutes left on the clock or something like that, to where you're up 6 and the field goal will go ahead and give you a 3-possession lead. So I'm thinking right now the game is cooked, honestly, as an Eagles fan, because we haven't moved the ball at all. There's not any time left. We're not going to be able to stop the Saints in one series of downs. It's going to be tough. After that run, I'm thinking that the game is cooked, man. And what happens now is eventually we get them to a 3rd and 8, because I don't think they passed. Or if they did pass, yes, this is what happened. They ran the first play, obviously. First down they ran. Then they threw like a check down to the running back, which Ingram made a crazy catch on in traffic, where if he dropped it, it would have saved us 40 seconds. But anyway, we get them to a 3rd and 8 right here. 3rd and 8, they're on the 30-yard line. Look, 3rd down passing. Look, he's 7 for 8. Drew Brees is passing all. Obviously, he could probably get this easily if he passed the ball. But Sean Payton knows a field goal wins this game for me. A field goal and 40 more seconds wins the game for me. So the right call here, every time, if you're a Madden player, man, the right call is just run the ball, take the time off the clock, kick the field goal, go up 9 points. What happens here, really, which is great for the Eagles, obviously, is Michael Bennett just takes Max Unger and just puts him before. This is just domination right here. Michael Bennett pushes him 5 yards back right into Alvin Kamara and makes him lose 6 yards on the play, which is great for the Eagles because that just added 6 yards to the field goal. So now we got a 53-yard field goal, and Michael Bennett definitely made that play there. Boom, 52-yard field goal, and Will Lutz boots it to the left. So right there, I'm all Nick Foles is going to get it done. He's going to move down the field, and we're going to win this game. So this is the second play. Throws the dot to Zach Ertz. Now, after this play, this is the next play where he throws the incomplete. He just chucks it up, but we get a roughing the passer. So this guy Saudi or I think the rookie got a roughing the passer. It was kind of ticky tack. I didn't love it, but when you hit the quarterback in the face, you hit him in the neck, you hit him anywhere in that area, you're going to get a flag, and that's what the young cat did. As you see, Jason Peters was out this game too. That's a shoulder across the neck. Little ticky tack. Nevertheless, look at this. This is what we get. So after that penalty, right? After this penalty, there's 2 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock. Look where I just want to show you where they had the ball. This is where they had the ball with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. And me, I'm watching the game with a couple of my buddies who aren't super Madden guys, and they aren't like super football guys. I mean, they're football guys, but they're not Madden guys. So I'm thinking right here, is that the Eagles are going to score a touchdown. They're going to score a touchdown. And just like they did against the Bears, they're going to score a touchdown and take the lead with 1 point. And what I want is Drew Brees to have no time on the clock. So not only do you have to score the touchdown, but you have to manage this clock. Because the worst thing that can happen to you, no matter how much faith you have in your defense, they really bent this game. I don't think they broke that much this game, only giving up 20 points. They didn't give up any huge plays. But as far as I'm concerned, if I'm a coach, if I'm anybody on the field, if Drew Brees has a minute and 1 timeout, he's going to go down and get a field goal. There's no way you can so you have to keep the clock has to be in your mind as an offensive play caller, as the whole offense, because I feel like even right here, you're in striking distance to the end zone. So honestly, you don't need 2 minutes right here. You could do this with 1 minute, and honestly, you could probably do it with 50 seconds, 40 seconds and 1 timeout. So you don't need 2 minutes. It was 2 minutes and 25 seconds, and they ran the ball. Once they ran the ball with Sproles, they didn't get any yards, obviously, because it was 2nd and 10. But it kept the clock running. And I was like, cool, we're going to take it to the 2-minute warning. We still got 2 minutes and 1 timeout from the 25-yard line. We can throw the ball here, throw the ball in. We can throw the ball anywhere we want, go down, hopefully score a touchdown with under 30 seconds left, make the Saints use their timeout, and take the win. But what happens here is Nick Foles, now I don't know why, but they're in a hurry. After they run the ball, it seems like they're going to let the clock run. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they no-huddle back up, and the Saints are just in cover 2 zone. That's all they are right here. And that's when they run this play. And we'll see when they snap the ball. 2 minutes and 3 seconds. There's 26 seconds on the play clock. Take this to the 2 minute. There's no benefit to snapping the ball right now. It's not like the Saints aren't ready. Maybe if the Saints were walking players off, because sometimes in Madden, somebody will even put their controller down. Like, this guy's taking a 2 minute warning. But it's not like they're not ready. I would love to see or hear any advantage from anybody from snapping the ball right now. Because the time's on. You have all the time in the world, and to snap the ball right here is not needed. And what happens is, because of that hurry up, see, they literally snap it at 2 minutes. But because of that hurry up, I feel like it kind of rushed everything. And Alshon got his hands up now. Then he put his hands down. See, oh my God, that's what killed us. Oh, I don't want to see that. But you see, Alshon Jeffrey got his hand. No, where is he at? So I feel just the hurry up nature made everybody's mind speed up a little bit. You see, Alshon got his hands up coming through there, then put his hands down, hands back up, drops the ball. Marshawn Lattimore picks it off, and the season is over. Now that could have happened if they let the clock. I don't think that play mattered as far as. Obviously, he could have dropped the ball if there was 10 seconds on the clock, if there was 10 minutes, whatever it may be. Obviously, he could have dropped the ball no matter what. But just I feel like the nature of rushing that and hurrying up when you didn't need to, when actually it was in your benefit to not hurry up, and it was in your benefit to take it to 2 minute warning. But to hurry up and stuff just really sped everybody up, and obviously Alshon dropped the ball, and Marshawn Lattimore picked it off, and the rest is history, really. And that's the ball game, and that's how the Eagles lost. But just a couple things, man. When you had a ball and you're up and you're down 1 point or you're down 6 points, you also got to think about how much time am I leaving this person to play offense. So no matter how much pride, and the coach will tell you I have so much pride in my defense, sometimes you have to be a realist and realize that the Eagles didn't cover Michael Thomas all game, and he could have probably easily got 40 yards and then maybe X amount of yards to get in the field goal range. So to remove as much time on the clock was paramount for the Eagles on that drive, and I thought they were doing that by running the ball on first down with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. but they decided to quick snap that play, and it turned out terrible for him, and that was the last play of the Eagles' season. So that was very disappointing, man. It definitely was, man. But now I want to get to the meat and potatoes that you guys want to talk to, man. Here we go. But like I said, let's get to the streaming situation, because this is something that I told you guys, man. I really sometimes struggle about things to talk about on the show, man. I really do, because there's no games. There's nothing going on. I mean, we've been waiting for these club games. How long does it feel like we've been waiting for these club games? Because there's no top 4 in MUT draft, so nobody really has to play that mode. We don't have to play that mode to qualify. Like, if you play 20 games, you're going to qualify. So they pretty much openly removed the MUT draft leaderboard. There's no leaderboard to play. We've all just been chilling, waiting for these club games, and I feel like we've been waiting for these club games since the end of the online portion of this. I mean, y'all got to tell me when the online portion of the club series was, because I feel like it had to be October at this point, you know. So we've been waiting for these games for so long. So I haven't had much to talk about since the last games were the Madden Classic games I had to talk about, and the Minnesota Club Series. And essentially, I've been waiting for these streams. I've been waiting for this weekend in Las Vegas to see. I believe there was only 5 teams that did live events, or 6 teams that did live events. And so the other, 26 teams have 26. Another 110 guys need to go ahead and play. So, like I said, another 126 guys, or 110 guys still have to play. They still have to try to see who's going to win these clubs. And we're all excited about that, man. And last year, it was at the Pro Bowl. Last year, it was at a big, like, almost like a stadium, almost, or an arena. And anybody that was at the Pro Bowl was able to go in and watch. So you say early November was clubs. So November, December, half of January. So it's been 2.5 months, easily. 2.5 months that we've been waiting for these games. The game has changed. There's been patches. There's been new cards. Players have had to play. There's been nobody playing, really, because, like I said, there's no reason to stream Madden. There's no reason to qualify for MUT draft. This is all competitive Madden has been waiting for. And last year, I remember that, because it was the same thing, where a couple clubs had a live event, and then everybody was in Orlando for the club series finals, you know, for each club series. And then the next day they did the club series, get to final 8, and the final 8 went to Minnesota, which was really dope. But what happened the first day we were there, I remember they were finishing up, because everybody played a couple games in the back room of EA. So just like the final 4 games were in the back room of EA. And then boom, the final games were out there and out on the stage. So there's a whole arena behind you, and anybody could come in there and watch. And what happens was they did not stream those games, but there was people in the crowd with their phones, boom, streaming, periscoping the games, and people were watching it that way. And everybody was really disappointed that they did not stream those games. And this is where I go to where we haven't learned about what everybody wants and what's important. And so this year, today they announced that no games will be streamed this week. All the games, I believe they're being recorded, because they're streamed. The talent, so the people that do the broadcasting and commentating, will be out there. So I'm not sure how they're going to use these games. I don't know if they're going to be. I think the worst thing to do is to display them at another time, or show them at another time. Maybe they'll use clips from these games, you know, to show somebody's story when they're leading up, you know, if they make a far run or something like that. I really don't know how they will be using these clips, but all the streaming, they'll have all the capabilities to stream, but they won't stream. And to me, that's directly different from what we wanted last year, because last year we were sitting in the thing periscoping these games, because people want to watch these games, man. There's like I said, there's about 110 new people to qualify. It's probably at least 50 new people getting a chance to play at a live event, and they're not going to be on the television. They're not going to be on the Twitch. They're not going to be anywhere. And I think it is really a mistake for a lot of reasons. I mean, any opportunity you have to showcase Madden, you know, especially for these new kids, man, because like I said, the people at my level, or the big man players, we're going to play regardless. Man, but if you give one of these kids an opportunity to make some type of Twitch, some type of live event, and feel like he's one of the best players in the world. It's really going to continue to make him grow and make him strive for better things in Madden. And they're really missing the ball and helping a lot of these kids out really, and because they have the ability to do it. It's not like it's, a huge thing, especially if they're already going to be recording these games and putting them on later times. But for me, it all comes back to this is how the club series works, right? The club series, obviously, they got all the teams to buy on to the club series. Eventually, they talked to all these. Now, teams buying in different levels. Obviously, some teams are more excited than other teams. And what happens is EA wants all the clubs to run their own event. They want, like the Texans did. The Texans run your event. The Steelers ran an event. The Eagles ran an event. That's what EA wants. But EA wants the club to pay for the event. Now, to have this ESL, or I don't really know all the, I just know ESL as a company that comes out and does your broadcast, does your streaming event, or obviously you could use Nerd Street, which is the best, the highest quality broadcasting team in the country. But you can go ahead, like I said, so what EA wants is the Texans to pay for ESL to come out and do their broadcast, or the Steelers to pay for Nerd Street to come out and do the deals. EA doesn't want to pay to do these broadcast events, because the broadcast event, to get ESL to come out, I think the number was around $50,000, $60,000 to get one of these companies to come out and do this type of broadcasting, which is great. Obviously, I think a lot of the broadcasts are pretty dope. As far as I'm concerned, I think a lot of the live events that we've had so far, I think you can do with a lot less than $60,000. But that's not my business. That's not my place. So I'm not going to comment on how much it's worth. So what happens is EA, if you don't do the live event, so obviously EA is happy that the Texans did one, that the Steelers paid for theirs, the Eagles paid for theirs, and all the Vikings paid for theirs. So EA don't got to pay for that. That's cool. So now when we come down to the other 24 teams or 20, whatever the number is, the teams that we're not going to watch the stream, what happens is I think it's EA saying, okay, you didn't want to pay for this event. Now you're not going to get any type of event. We're just going to figure out your winner behind closed doors and then just promote you. We're not going to promote your team at all. I think it's something, because they have the ability to do, especially if all the people are going to be there and they're going to be recording the games anyway, man. And I think a lot of times when you're pitching this eSports to the NFL, man, sometimes you got to build your own product and then pitch it rather than try to, I feel like the MCS product isn't as good as it could be before you pitch it to the NFL, and trying to, not force these teams to do their live events, but that's kind of how it feels. If you're not going to show, all right, so what's the team that's not, all right, let's say the Chargers. Because obviously Problem's in the Chargers, and Problem's the biggest star we have. So if Problem's in the Chargers, and now the Chargers say to EA, we don't want to spend $50,000 to do an event. We don't want to open up our stadium on a day where it's supposed to be closed. We don't want to have this event. We don't want to put these resources into it, because what am I getting back? I'm spending $50,000 to get 5,000 viewers. So essentially, what's that? $1,000 per viewer. That's what I'm paying. $1,000 per viewer. I mean, that's pretty wild. But anyway, nevertheless, my point being, when we get to is that, so the Chargers don't want to do an event. Boom. So the Chargers say, no, I'm not going to do an event. So what Marcoux and EA says, we're not even going to broadcast your event. Since you don't want to broadcast it, we're just going to hide it. We want to keep it on the low. So now everybody that's been sitting here for 2.5 months and want to watch Problem play Allen, we're not going to get to watch that because because the Chargers didn't want to pay for their own event. So now, essentially, EA want the NFL to look like, damn, I didn't get my 5,000 viewers. I don't think the Chargers are going to be that stressed over not getting their 5,000 viewers. They're not going to all of a sudden go ahead and, okay, well, I'm not getting my 5,000 viewers. I'm going to be that upset. But for the 5,000 people that do tune into the stream, now we don't have one. Ultimately, I say all this to say, yeah, you guys know the math. 5,100, whatever it may be, $100 per viewer is pretty wild regardless. You don't want to pay $100 to get one person to watch you. That's pretty wild. But nevertheless, I say all this to say, what is the benefit of not streaming these games, is what I ask. What is the downside? And ultimately, to me, I don't think you need all the lights, and even for these, even if they said, you know what, we're not going to have the play-by-play, we're not going to have the post-game commentary, we're not going to have interviews, we're just going to plug in, the Elgato, and we're just going to stream the game. That's all we're going to do. I mean, I wouldn't be that mad at it. I mean, obviously some people, it won't attract that many people, but it's got to be better than something. There's so many opportunities to do. There's so many people that are playing. It's so many big names that are playing that we've watched over the years that we want to continue to watch that we haven't seen. There's so many players that we have not seen play Madden all year. Honestly, all year. I haven't seen Ghost play a single down of football. I haven't seen Joke play a single down of football. I haven't seen Kiv play a single down of football. I haven't seen any of these guys play, and they're some of the best players in the world, and they're not being showcased at all. I'm telling you what, if I'm EA, I would use every opportunity I can to get show Problem playing the game. Because if Problem's playing the game, all of a sudden you're 5,000 viewers, and now they're 10,000 viewers. And then you can pitch it to the NFL a little better, because now they're spending $100 for 2 viewers. I don't know, man. I'm not an expert of dealing with the NFL and dealing with this Club Series event. But, I mean, as far, like I said on Twitter that Madden 17, the MCS has gotten worse and worse in Madden 17, and it's mostly centered around the Club Series. Because I think the product was great before they tried to implement the Club Series, make the Club Series the biggest thing in the world. And it's obvious that half of these NFL teams just don't give a shit. And, I mean, obviously, that maybe they're not interested in the product, and it's hard for people this rich, the NFL owners, to be this rich and not be interested in esports. Everybody's investing in esports, not Madden, but esports. So if you can go ahead and turn somewhat of a product and out of Madden and pitch it as an esport and make it look like an esport, anybody with money would be interested, man. And it's definitely sad that they can't get all these teams to buy in. And honestly, if all these teams don't buy in, man, that's what's hurting us the most. And if the Club Series is 70% of our money and it's this biggest event and half the teams aren't buying into the point where they can't stream these Final Four games, that's bad. And honestly, the MCS was better before they were so dependent on these NFL teams, you know, putting their money forth. Because obviously it seems like Madden 17 or the NFL is not putting their money forth. That's how I feel. That's how I felt about the Club Series. I think obviously the way it's set up, the structure of it is amazing. I think the Club Series can be the biggest thing. And when it first came out, I said, man, this is gonna be the biggest. Last year, I was like, man, this is gonna be the biggest thing for Madden. But if a team not buying in and putting their money up is preventing you from showing those games, that's bad, dude. That's really bad, you know. And ultimately, I think that's what it is, because everything they do, all the decisions they made have been for a budget. I thought a lot of why the NFL or why Madden was not at the Pro Bowl and is not at the Super Bowl this year, which is super disappointing for all you guys that advance, for all you guys that are going to do great in this Club Series. Man, it sucks that you're not at the Pro Bowl and you're not at the Super Bowl. And because that, honestly, for me, that was the coolest thing in the world, to be at the Pro Bowl. To be under the tent in that venue was pretty much the coolest thing. And then obviously being both at, where the hell were we? At Houston, and then being in Minnesota, man. Regardless whether you win or lost, I got clapped in Minnesota, but we had a blast. We really did. And being in Houston, obviously I won the tournament in Houston, and it was awesome. And to not be there is it's just a budget thing. That's all it is. And I thought it was, all right, after Jacksonville, they can't really have those events, but they pulled out of that before Jacksonville. It's just a budget. They don't want to spend the money, man, and it sucks, because that was really, no matter how I look back at my life, obviously I won money, and I won, you know, you guys listening to me a little more. It validates your opinion on Madden when you win a couple games in a row, which is crazy to me. But it does validate your opinion. But ultimately for me, being around the NFL, something I grew up watching, being at the Pro Bowl and at the Super Bowl, meeting those guys and being on the field with the Pro Bowl players and stuff, that's what I'll remember forever. Not necessarily the money, but it's the experience, man. And that's been removed. And just disappointed in not being able to see these games coming up, man. It's something. We're all junkies, man. The 200 people that are in here, all the people that view this podcast, we are all Madden junkies, and it's something obviously we are not worth any money because it's not that many people. It's not that big a demographic, but we are junkies, and it's something we look forward to all year. And ultimately, in my opinion of it, and is that because these NFL teams did not want to pay for the broadcast, EA is not going to promote their team. It's very petty, I think. Obviously, the teams that did a live event, their event was special. I think there should still be an event for these other teams. And I think, I don't know. I think if I don't have the answers, to try to make Club Series great. It's all, essentially, it's all about the money, man. That's pretty much what it's all about. But yeah, and pre-recorded is the worst thing in the world. It really is. You show me where football has been successful pre-recorded. No sports can be pre-recorded ever. Even like the Olympics. Sometimes when the Olympics are in other countries, obviously they'll pre-record it. If it's in like China or something, obviously they're going to start when we're asleep or so on and so forth. And they'll pre-record it. NBC will show at 8 p.m. Most people that are junkies have already found out who won and everything. Yeah, I don't know how to. Like I said, Madden 17 before Club Series was even a big deal was great, and I think they really could have built on that and made it a great product to where the NFL wanted to buy in rather than trying to pitch the NFL. You know, the NFL wants to buy into Overwatch. They want to buy into all these other games that are bigger than life, man. Rich people want to get into eSports. That's pretty much how, and that's why I've told you I think eSports will be bigger than real sports in 10 years. Rich people want to invest in this. They want to, put their money and grow their money into eSports. So if you continue to grow a good product and have results and have the crowd that we had in Madden Bowl in Houston and had the viewers they had on Twitch in Madden 17, if you can, then display that to a company and to a rich person, then they would want to invest in that. And I feel like they're trying to put the cart before the horse and trying to get the NFL to buy into a product that doesn't look that great right now. And obviously they're not gonna buy into it because they're not buying into it. That's why we're not getting the stream then EA then then in the release they say, well, it's up to the team if they're gonna have a broadcast event. Man, it should be up to you. It's your product. Ultimately it's not the Jaguars' product. I'm saying it's not the Titans' product. It's not their product. It's your product. It's your MCS. It is your esport. To not show it not only disappoints us Madden fans, but it disappoints, anybody that's looking forward in esports grow, man. So definitely, ultimately, I'm definitely disappointed in where the MCS has come in 2 years. Since Madden 17, 2 years ago, I was in this big ass tent in Orlando, and it was awesome, man. I thought it, dude. And you guys know me. Orlando was my first live event that I made. I thought it was bigger than life. I really did. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was a blast. I thought it was one of the best experiences of my life. Obviously, I've said that on many interviews 2 years ago. And since 2 years ago, I think it hasn't gotten better. In fact, it's digressed substantially in 2 years, man. And the biggest part about it is that I feel like they've asked us a lot. Obviously they listen, they hear us. I feel like they asked us to listen. I feel like a lot of shit just doesn't get listened to. Because, we don't know the best about dealing with the NFL. We don't know the best about promoting. We don't know the best about promoting esport. We don't know the best about getting viewers. We don't know the best about, social media interactions. We don't know shit about that. But we know about Madden. We know about what you guys want. And we know about what's entertaining for you guys. Because it's our job to entertain you. For us to get paid, for me, problem, I think, is normally, problem as far as coming up with ideas and shit for us to do in Madden, problem is the top. He come up with the best shit for Madden. Because it's his job to make Madden entertaining. It's my job to make Madden entertaining. It's Zan's job to make Madden entertaining. It's not their job to make Madden entertaining. It's our job. You know what I'm saying? So we ultimately have the most experience in making Madden entertainment. We know what you guys want to watch and what's important to you guys. And I feel like they have listened, but I feel like a lot of it's fallen on deaf ears, especially with the format. Especially that I'll go back to the top four. I already had one show on top four. If you didn't watch the top four show, go ahead, click back a few videos. I believe it was like episode 8 or whatever it may be. But the top four thing, the top four thing definitely was something that we've talked about, and we talked about to them on deaf ears for years. And that definitely, for them not to have the top four is very disappointing. I'm trying to read my Twitch chat and I'm trying to talk. It's tough, man. It's tough. But like I said, man, and I see I said probably won't play nothing before, and we have, and honestly right now because there's no reason to play Madden. There's none, because there is no top four. But like I said, and right now we have the most fun on other guy. I have more fun on 2K right now. But and that's where the challenge comes, because we know we're going to get paid from playing Madden. That's what brings us the most viewers. Now, how can we make this entertaining while we're not having fun? And that's what we do the best, honestly. But we're not going to see these games. We are going to know what happened. And this is something where I've really struggled in the last couple of years, because we definitely haven't. I've known all the results like weeks in a time, or when it happened, even if it dropped another week from now, so on and so forth. Me personally, I was in the what was the event? The Madden Challenge that they taped for CW, whatever, that displayed like a week later. Obviously, I told all my friends about what happened. My close friends, not like everybody, but because you always like to talk to somebody about Madden, man. That's definitely what you like to do in the middle of a tournament more than any other time, is when you want to talk to people about Madden. Like, man, I just lost. How should I attack this guy? Play this guy next? Blah, blah, blah. What should I do? And so we all going to know the events, and it pretty much comes down to, are we going to ruin it for the 4 people that don't know the results? No, but seriously, it's going to be interesting to see how this works this week, because I'm going to be pissed that I'm not going to be able to watch these games. I looked a lot forward, not only for myself, but I looked forward to this for the podcast. It gives me a lot of material to talk about. I love watching games, and I felt like, damn, I want to have 40 games to talk about. I'm going to be doing game breakdowns for years, but now we definitely are not going to have that. So we're just going to know who wins, and that's something that's definitely disappointing, man. But so ultimately, from last year, they did not stream these last 4 games because the teams didn't want to pay for them. They did not stream it. But we were all at the venue, and we all watched these final games on the screen. They were playing them like a live event. They were broadcasting them like a live event. Pretty much all they had to do with stream these games is click a button to say stream, go live. That's all they had to do, but they did not do it. Boom. That's all they have to. That's the thing that just drives me crazy. It's like press a button and go live, man. People going to watch. People want to watch. But so last year we sat in the thing. We watched live, and some people periscoped from their phone. I think because of the security issue, they're not going to allow anybody else in the room. We're not even really going to know what happens. Nobody will be periscoping live. But if somebody did periscope live, they would get hella viewers. But we're not going to see what happens. And we're just going to pretty much have to wait for an announcement. I don't know if EA is going to announce. Maybe they are doing a pre-recorded thing. I don't know. We're going to find out, fellas. And we're definitely going to talk about it next week as far as the no stream and how did it work. What are some benefits? How quickly did the results get leaked? So that's definitely something that we're hoping to get there. And they've also said that these things might be a problem why they're not streaming it live. I doubt that, though, man. I don't know. I don't have the answers. I'm just highly disappointed that they haven't learned from last year. And I'm disappointed because I think it's all about the fact that these teams didn't want to pay for their own live event, so EA isn't going to stream their event. That's pretty much what I think it's about. And they're trying to use this, I'm not streaming your event, so next year the Chargers say, you know what, okay, you didn't want to stream our event, I'll pay $50,000 to stream our event. Which is crazy, because I don't think it's that big a threat. Oh, we're not going to stream your event. If the Chargers were interested, they would have did it last year, and you not streaming their event isn't going to make them interested. Bettering your product is going to make them interested. Simple as that. Not streaming their event. Anyway, so let's get into the Madden part of this, man, because these are some things we've looked at for months. Like we said, 2.5 months, we've looked at who's in these clubs. We looked about what's going to be the best matchups. Now, I'm going to go over some of these matchups because somebody in my chat told me the teams that will be streamed. I know there was like 5 teams that will be streamed. I believe it was Seattle. I forget. Maybe the Rams, something like that. There's definitely 5 teams or so that are going to stream. I think it's next week. It's not this week. They're going to kind of separate them, but I'm definitely going to. Where is it at? I have a whole Google spread. Thanks to Jaybird has this wild spreadsheet, man. And if we could bring this up on the screen somehow and keep this thing so we can scroll all the way through it. Yes, that's perfect. Okay. Now this is the Google spreadsheet that we have here. Let me see if you guys told me what teams have the. I think Seattle is definitely the team. I know they have a live event, but I want to go over who you guys think, who I think is going to win all these clubs. You know, whether you agree or disagree, whatever it may be. I have a lot of experience with some of these guys, not so much experience with the next guys. I'm not too sure about some of these guys, man. You guys in the YouTube channel, you can comment below on which ones you think I'm right, which ones you think I'm wrong. If I don't have experience with a few of these guys, you can go ahead and tell me if you think they're nice. Because, I mean, at some point I was one of these guys, and some of these other guys were one of these guys. But it's pretty cool, and these are a bunch of people that haven't made live events that aren't going to be seen on screen. And let's start with the first one. Obviously, this is one of the toughest 4 you can have in one of these things. A lot of these are really tough. It's going to be a shame we're not going to get to watch a lot of these games. But the first one is the Cowboys. Now, obviously, VTech is a Cowboys fan. Boom. Scorpion, triple OG Scorpion. He's going to run the ball. He's going to keep every game close. I don't know how much he's playing. Every time I see my guy Scorpion, he brings up something about, man. He brings up something about, oh, I haven't been playing, blah, 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 blah. And I'm Too Much is a guy that's been a leaderboard goon. He's always been good on the leaderboards. He's always been a good player. Really underrated player in this 4 right here. I feel like I'm Too Much is a player that, I mean, just far away. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be interesting to see because if he plays a good game, obviously Journey's the favorite. He's a belt holder. He's an elite Madden player. You know, these other 3 guys aren't elite Madden players. VTech's going to stay around. He's old. He's going to run the ball, play some solid defense. He's going to stay around. Same thing with Scorpion. I'm Too Much as a guy that's just an inch away from being really good. Pause. And if he plays a good game, something bad happens to Journey, he fumbles, or I'm saying something dumb, whatever it may be. I'm Too Much could pop up. I promise you that. But obviously, you got to pick Journey right here. Like I said, belt winner. He's an elite Madden player, you know. And like I said, these other 3 guys aren't elite. Safe pick. I'm gonna go with Journey on that one. Make sure you guys remember all my picks. All right. So gotta go with Journey on that. He's the favorite. I think he's gonna take it. He's not a Cowboys fan. He signed with Complexity, which is partnered with the Cowboys. So this is goes all the way back to eSports, which is crazy. Which is just blows my mind. Let's go back. So the Cowboys are so intent to eSports, right? That they're in a partnership with Complexity, which is an eSport team, right? So you don't tell me if Matt Marcoux and MCS put together a good product, that it wouldn't draw the Cowboys' attention because they're already invested in the eSports. They're partnered with eSports. You don't think that this would draw their attention? But man, maybe I could put a little bit of money into this Madden thing. No, so a team like the Cowboys, who's already partnered with eSports, doesn't want to do a live event. I mean, what does that say about what you pitched them, what you wanted them to do, that they didn't want to invest in it? Crazy. But anyway, so like I said, if you put together a good product, if you put together the Madden 17 MCS format and just improved on it, that the Cowboys want to say, damn, I want to get involved in that. But that's another topic another day. But obviously, Figueroa won the Eagles. Hopefully, he makes a good run this year. We go to the Giants. Jay Bird, who's been at all these little underground tournaments, C4 specialist. Definitely, he's on the verge of becoming great. And one thing about Jay Bird, man, since the day, I mean, Jay Bird, I want to say he was here last year for Madden 18, the first challenger here. I want to say he was here. But he's definitely been on a low, trying to get better. And the thing about Jay Bird is that he wants to be good. You know what I'm saying? He really put a lot of energy into Madden. So he's definitely, this is a good 4 that are all around the same level. Even though obviously he's been around Madden for a long time, very experienced player, EMB guy, so he's going to be labbed up. He's going to be prepared for everything. Nothing you're going to show him is he's not going to have already seen for the most part. So he's definitely going to be in there. Like I said, Jay Bird wants to be great. Then we got VY Electrify, who was the defending New York Giants Club Series champion. So he's definitely got an experience. And we got Red IG. Red IG's been a leaderboard. He's always been a decent player. Man, this is tough. This is a tough 4 to really make a pick, man. But if I gotta make a pick, I think I'm gonna go with the defending champ. I gotta put VY. I think he's gonna go ahead. He's got the experience. He's the Giants Club Series champion for a reason. I think I'll go ahead and pick him. Evil Low is good. Like I said, Jay Bird wants to be great too. I'm glad he's got this opportunity to fly out to Vegas. And but I'm gonna go with the defending champ, man. I gotta put my chips with the defending champ. I'm gonna pick VY to come out of there. Next 4 with the NFC East, we got the Redskins. Now, if you listen to Ghost, he'll tell you these 3 guys are some of the best players in the world. He'll always tell you that. But I will tell you, Skins is definitely pretty decent. We saw Legend make a run to the finals in my Players Lounge tournament I did 2 weeks ago. So Legend's definitely prepared to play. So between Legend, Skins, and Techers is, and I've talked to Ghost. I've played Ghost a lot in the last week. Techers is who Ghost is most afraid of. I don't know Techers. I don't know who he is. But Ghost is petrified. Ghost is petrified of his own shadow, but he's definitely petrified of Techers. He talks about this Techers guy like he's Big Gene himself. This Techers guy. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm obviously gonna pick Ghost because I said, but Ghost is an elite man player, but he is afraid of everybody he plays, and he'll tell you everybody he plays is tricky. That's what he's tricky. He's tricky to play. That's what Ghost will tell you. So I'm gonna pick Ghost. But like I said, Skins definitely knows how to play. Legend's kind of hot right now, and Ghost is petrified of Techers. So in the NFC East, I'm going to have Ghost, VY, Figures Are Locked In, and Drenny. That's a tough 4. It really is. But that's what it's going to get down to when this thing really starts off. And I believe it'll be Ghost versus Trini in the first round. If that happens, that's crazy. Hopefully we'll get a stream for that. God forbid, you know. So that's how I see the NFC East going down. Drenny, Figgy, VY, and Ghost. Now I want to go ahead, venture over here to the, where we at? To the NFC North. Can I actually make this, can I go like this and make this bigger? No. Oh, I can do this for you guys. My bad, I drawed. Boom. Way bigger. All right, there we go. Like I said, Ghost, VY, Drenny, and Figgy. That's my NFC East. The NFC North. That's where we're at now. Let's see if we can get this popping right now. Boom. All right. The Bears. Canes, obviously, top Madden. Canes is JP. He's good. He's prepared. Trips tight end. Has one of the best trips tight ends in the nation. I don't know Soul Crusher 96. The name Soul Crusher doesn't scream Madden player to me. So I don't think Soul Crusher got what it takes. Shout out to him making it to Vegas. Proud of you, man. Make sure you have fun. Don't think he's going to get anything done. I don't know who VNBG is. I don't know. It's a cute little name. Sometimes when like gamers, when they put V like V or little zeros, they're like little gamer type nerds clanny thing. I really don't know who that is. But this guy right here, GS Roadmaster, my man Gangster 187 Proof, he's going to pop up, man. I'm telling you, I'm picking Proof. Canes is going down. My man Larry Proof, Gangster 187 Proof. All you guys, if y'all 10 years, if y'all been playing Madden for 10 years plus, on Saloon, in leagues, at the Man Challenge, you know who Gangster 187 Proof is. That's my man Larry, GS Roadmaster, his first real live event. And this is one thing that I'm most sick about. I don't get to watch him play because I've played against him probably a bunch this last week and a half, and he's ready. So that's my pick for the Bears. This is my upset of the tournament, GS Roadmaster. You don't know who he is, but you will know when this tournament's over. By the end of the weekend, I'm picking GS Roadmaster to win the Bears. Obviously, I don't even need to name these other 3 names. Bugs is going to win the Lions. He's here to get his revenge on Rival. McKinley Status is definitely a tricky name. If he's playing well, he's going to bring something different to the table. It's going to be a tricky name. Rival's going to be a tricky name too. Rival's really good. I don't know what Just Greatness is. Hope you have a good time out there in Vegas. But I got Bugs winning that. So I got Roadmaster, Bugs, Packers. This is kind of tough, my man. Chigs at 300. But I go with Grandpa Drag, man. Defending Packers Club Series champion. Got to pick him. Swole Monster, T. Waddle. Make sure you guys have fun in Vegas, man. I'm really, really happy for you guys. You guys got a free trip to Vegas, man. Make sure you check out the D Casino. It's right across from the venue. Ask for Eddie. He will hook you guys up so you guys have fun. But you're not going to win this club. Strafing, obviously. So that's my NFC North. Got my man Proof, Bugs, Drag, and Strafing. We'll talk about that when we get to it. But those are the 4 I got coming out of there. Then let's go over here to the NFC South. CLEFF vs. Rage. Shout out to Ninja and Lil Terrio, man. Y'all had fun. Rage and CLEFF. This is CLEFF's chance. He definitely lost to Holly in the Classic. This is CLEFF's. This is CLEFF's club to win. Rage, obviously, I believe Rage won last year. Rage won the Bucks last year. I think he did. I know he beat. No, he didn't. Stevie J won. I'm tripping. I'm sorry, Stevie. I'm sorry. But I think this is tough because I know Rage is sneaky good. I know he's running an effective offense, but CLEFF is running an effective offense as well. This is going to be a great game. This is a game I would love to watch on the stream, man. I really would. It would be amazing. But because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did not pay EA, or they did not pay for their own event, EA is not going to show their event. But I'm going to go ahead and pick CLEFF. CLEFF's my guy. Rage is a cool guy too, though. I like both of these guys. Good young kids. But I got to pick CLEFF right there. I think defensively he's going to be a little bit better than Rage. Definitely, but CLEFF puts a lot. CLEFF expects to win everything. Puts a lot of pressure on himself. We'll see if he'll deal with the pressure of this event. But I'm picking CLEFF. Safa, Zay, underrated king. Envied, underrated king. God bless you guys. Zay, FMB versus EMB. This is another one would be great to watch. Zay's going to run the ball. If he can't run the ball, he's going to lose the game. They actually played a crazy game. I believe it was Zay they played last year that we didn't get to watch for the Atlanta Falcons Club Series Championship. It was actually an awesome game that they played. And so this is definitely going to be a great rematch this year. I got to pick Safa. Safa's a Needy Gaming representative. He held me down, rocked my t-shirts, all Ultimate League, man. So that's definitely my guy. So I'm definitely going to pick Safa. I'm going to pick CLEFF, Safa. Over here, the Panthers. I don't know any of these guys. Chat, comment section. Element, Bruce Leroy, JD. Manu wins this one going away. So that's a tough 3 right there already. This one right here. Quake 96 and Sammy Swift, man. I hope you guys have fun in Vegas. My guy Sammy, you know I play 2K with Sammy all the time, man. Shugs and Mo. That's definitely going to be good. Mo is one of the top 5 Madden players of all time. He definitely had a disappointing year last year, so he's definitely going to be locked in to make a run on the $700,000. So I'm probably going to I got to go with Mo. I got to go chalk with these 4 clubs, man. We're going to go CLEFF, Safa, Manu, Mo. That's my NFC South. Definitely going to, that's another crazy 4 right there. That's going to be good. Like, after you win your club, man, you're in for a fight. As simple as that. Now let's go to the NFC West. Obviously, T. Davis won. I believe that was the first event. Won the Cardinals Club Series. Now we'll go ahead and push it on to the Niners. Juan, suspect, Niner. This is it's frustrating me when I come across these matchups I would love to watch. Listen, we would all love to watch Juan versus Niner, or Suspect versus Niner, or Suspect versus Juan. And honestly, Samoa's Finest, man, I feel like his name's been around. Like, he's not a pushover like some of these dudes that made it out, man. Not that any of you guys are pushover. God bless all you guys that made it. Have fun in Vegas. Enjoy a couple drinks. Enjoy a couple ladies. You know, have a good time. Like I said, I would love to watch these games, but Man, this is tough. The two-time defending Club Series champion, FMB Monster, Juan. Now, I will tell you this, because I don't think Niners going to win. Niner, I love you, brother, but you're not a better player than Suspect or Juan. And this is where I'll make my choice, because I'm cool with both of these fellas, man. They're good guys, all right? Now, this is where I will make my decision, because I have my decision made, but I want to explain why I've made my decision. And the number one reason here, Tony, Suspect, was in Vegas for the Man Classic. I hit Tony up. Yo, what's up? Come out, let's have a drink. He said, I'm at the club. I said, all right, come on, link up. He said, okay. I'm on my way. Never saw him. He didn't come out all Vegas trip. But you know who came out? Juan. And Juan came out in those same jeans he wears to the live event. Those, you know, them he still wears the bootcut jeans with sneakers. Juan came out and Juan was drinking. And you know why I'm picking Juan? Because Juan, we all have that one drunk friend that, you know, after you get drunk, he just wants to shake your hand every 3 minutes. Juan is that guy. He's a dapper up type. He gets drunk, he just starts shaking your hand. Hey, my God, every 3 minutes, no matter what. So the fact that Juan came out and Suspect stayed in a hotel like a little girl, I'm picking Juan. Juan is going to be the three-time 49ers Club Series champion. Definitely picking him. The Rams is tough, man. Nini's obviously, if y'all watch Madden at all, you know Nini's pretty decent player. OU Bobcats, I want to say I watched him qualify or something. I forget. This was the kid that had crazy lights in the back of his stream and was playing crazy music. I want to say it was him. IC Bush, crazy name. Love it. Love the name. I honestly, he's getting put in that Larry Proof underrated category right here with IC Bush as his name. Quality. Like if you saw OU Bobcats play IC Bush, I'm definitely rooting for IC Bush. Boom. And that's another matchup I would love to see on a live stream. OU Bobcats versus IC Bush. Bam. But it's going to come down between Nini and Lil Man. Nini's always run something different, crazy, different offense. Lil Man's going to be in the EMB bunch. He's going to be in either dollar or 335, whatever EMB's telling him to run right now. That's what Lil Man's going to be doing. Lil Man had a great outing his last time at the Man Classic. If he plays with that same momentum, I'm going to pick him. So I'm pick Lil Man. Got T. Davis, got Juan, got Lil Man. And then we get to the Seahawks. Kiv is an elite man player. Killer Mike has his number. Big George, D. Croft, sneaky too. These are a sneaky too. I don't think D. Croft is good, but he's been kind of around some decent man players. Like he's kind of been clicky with some guys I think are pretty decent at the game. So you're as good as the people you play. So these are, I know Big George's been around. So these are definitely a sneaky two right here. But obviously it's going to come down to Kiv versus Killer Mike. Does Kiv lose 2-3 times in a row to Killer Mike? That'd be crazy. But I got to pick Kiv. Like I said, he's an elite man player. We're pretty much going chalk here again. Juan, T. Davis, Lil Man, Kiv. That's another tough four. We'll see how it goes. Now let's go on to the AFC East. Is that where we're on the AFC East? Yes. Obviously, J. Wall already beat Skimbo to win the Patriots. Bills, point spread, the defending Buffalo Bills champion with that read option, crazy stuff he was running last year. Kwani, OG Kush. Carry Q. Carry Deuce. We'll see how Carey's playing right now. He probably has super tight ends. Probably has Lane Johnson and Tyron Smith at tight end, lead blocking. We'll see. This is another reason why I would love to watch. I would love to watch these games because what interested me most about Madden is this guy point spread, Kwani and OG Kush have known they're probably going to play carry for the last 2 months. Now, if I knew, Chris McFarland, if I knew I had to play carry in 2 months for this much money in this big of a game, I would have the best deuce close defense I could ever have. Ever. And that's why what's interesting to Madden to me, I would love to watch to see what these guys, one, their lineup, and two, how they're going to play against Carey. That would interest the hell out of me. Now, I'm a nerd. I'm not the casual Madden fan. I'm a nerd. That would interest me. We're not going to be able to see that. But anyway, I'm still picking Carey because honestly, I never think point spread was that amazing. Kwani, I don't know. I've never seen anything from Kwani or OG Kush, so I'm gonna go with what I know. Carry Q, Deuce Close Specialist. Next, the Dolphins is super tough because Matster and Blocky, man, those are definitely two decent players, and I don't know if this is Rue. I'm assuming this is the real guru, who's gonna be. I mean, he's gonna run the ball and keep the game close. I don't know who Lele is. Lele, thanks for coming. Master versus Blocky. It's definitely come down to that. Obviously, Blocky's probably bunching it up. He's been one of the... Obviously, Madden... I don't want to say Madden 16, 17 he was that good, Blocky. But Blocky was decent in Madden 17. Very good last year. And I'm assuming, obviously, it's another player we haven't seen play much because there haven't really been many tournaments. There's no reason to play online. So, in Master, I saw him play a couple times. Why did I see? Obviously, Master made a good run in the Man Classic, losing to Skimbo in a tight game. And it's interesting to see how he proved how his offense is going to play in salary cap. Haven't seen much from him. Haven't seen much from Blocky. This would be a great game to watch on stream, but we're not going to be able to do that. But I'm going to pick Blocky because I think he's a better passer than Master. And most of these games, the first thing that really me is like, who's a better passer? I think that ultimately wins most Madden games is who's the better passer, really. Because I think both of these guys are going to be good defensively. Matt's really good defensively. He's always been pretty good defensively. And last year, obviously, he trucked his way to making some decent runs. But I don't know. He wasn't running in the Madden Classic. So he's definitely passing. I think Blocky's an elite passer. I think Master's a good passer. There's a difference in their passing ability. So I'm going to go Blocky. Carry Blocky. AKG versus Ice. This is definitely I don't know these other two fellas. God bless them. AKG versus Ice. This is a rematch of last year where Ice clutched on him and threw a seam down the middle touchdown to win the game. AKG versus Ice. This is another game I would love to watch. AKG is running the New Orleans scheme. Best scheme in Madden. Ice is running the bunch, drinking the punch. And the thing about Ice, obviously he beat AKG last year, and the two biggest tournaments between last year, he lost to Skimbo in the club championship. And this year in the Classic, we talked about it. If you haven't watched that, we can talk. Me and Skimbo talked about it. If you go down our episode, it was episode 10, I believe, was the title Skimbo. We showed their game, Ice versus Skimbo. So the two biggest tournaments Ice been in the last 2 years, he's lost to Skimbo. So it's going to be interesting to see what... Skimbo's not in this tournament anymore. So we'll see how far Ice can go. Between Carry, I got Carry, Blocky. I'm going to pick the Ice, man. He's hot. I don't know if AKG is... I got to pick the Ice, man. Like I said, he beat AKG last year. His only losses in these tournaments have been to Skimbo. So I'm going to pick Ice in a tight battle with AKG. I wish I could watch this game. Obviously, J-Wall won already. So I got Blocky, Carry, Ice coming out of the AFC North. Or that was the AFC East. AFC North. Prodigy versus Crush for the Bengals. Hellraiser once Hellraiser. Is it really Hellraiser? It's not Hellraiser? I don't know. Hellraiser is wild. Listen, Mr. BM, Mr. Baby Mom. Yo, Hellraiser and Mr. BM, man, I hope you guys have a blast out there in Vegas, man. Like I said, the D Casino. Check it out. Ask for Eddie. Boom. These two guys have fun. Crush and Prodigy is such an underrated game. Crush is one of the best players to not make a live event. So it's going to be interesting if he can beat Prodigy. Obviously, Prodigy made the Ultimate League last year. Been pretty good this year. He's had a lot of good turnouts on some of these online tournaments. Made it decent. I believe he lost to Skimbo too at the Man Classic. But like I said, Prodigy versus Crush. That's going to be a good game. Another one I wish I could watch on TV or on streaming. I'm going to go ahead and say Crush pops in a tight game versus Prodigy. I think Crush is going to win the Bengals Club Series. He lost last year to Problem in the Chargers Club Series. And what was most impressive to me about I'll never forget watching Crush play because we were at the venue, so we were allowed to watch these games. So watching Crush play, he stopped the run better than anybody I've ever seen last year, man. If I had Crush's run defense last year, oh my God, I would have had a lot more fun in Madden 18. But he stopped the run so well. He just really didn't move the ball that well against Problem, man. And Problem wound up beating him. Problem made a couple more plays in him and wound up winning that football game. And that's why Crush didn't win the Chargers Club Series. So I think he go ahead and I guess it's an upset and prodigy. I think he's going to go ahead and take that. So I'm picking a Crush with the Bengals. Joke, J-Tran, Kells, and Bronco. I don't really know about J-Tran. I know he's been talking a lot on Twitter. I know he's been in the Twitch chats a lot. I don't think I've ever played J-Tran. If I did, I don't remember it. But he seems to be who Joke is most afraid of. You know, these EMB guys, man, they get afraid of people, you know. They really just got to grow. They got to grow the nuts a little bit more. But anyway, apparently they're all runners. I know Kells is a runner in heart. Bronco has been around forever, is a runner. But like I said, Kells is probably the #1 runner in the world. And I'm assuming J-Tran is a runner too, because Joke has all this defensive linemen that he posted. So knowing Joke, the thing about Joke, man, if you can get him a little bit flustered, if you can bust a run on him, if you can do one of those Ricky Williams break 3 tackles, run to the end zone, Joke is going to start. And I think it's the biggest, because Joke obviously is an elite man player. He's been an elite man player for a long time, and that's his only weakness to me is that, well, that and offense, he's not that great, but mentally, a couple bad things happen. He's going to start shitting the bed and doing his Joke little, like, whine face. So if one of these guys can go ahead and pop a couple runs, establish the run game, keep the game close, get a couple fluky plays, they can beat Joke. But ultimately, I got to pick Joke. Like I said, he's an elite man player. So I got Crush, I got Joke, Ravens. This is an even-ass matched up group right here. 6 Cents, I believe, won some club series back in the first year, I want to say. But I don't remember for sure. So, but he's definitely been around. Or he was at the first Madden 16 tournament. I think that's what it was. The first Madden 16 live event draft champions, I believe he was there. But he's definitely been around. I love God. I don't know who this is, but I know who this is. I forget exactly who it is. So these guys are definitely clueless. Or they definitely got an idea how to play. JS the best defending Ravens Club Series champion. Primetime 50G. Primetime, to me, has probably been one of the more underrated players in the last 2 years, 3 years, really. Every time I played him, he's been pretty good. Real cool guy. This is why I'm picking him to win the Ravens Club Series. Last year, I believe he was the Rams. He won the Rams against Juan with the... oh, no, it wasn't against... Yeah, he won the Rams, and then he beat Juan with those 15 onside kicks or whatever he got versus Juan in the tournament, I believe. So he won the Rams last year, decided not to go to the Rams, decided to go to the Ravens. So the defending Rams Club Series champion will win the Ravens Club. He will be the first person to win 2 different Club Series. That's pretty dope. Like I said, Primetime is definitely one of the more underrated man players the last couple of years. So I think he's the best out of this group. I think he's going to win it. So I got Crush, Joke, Primetime, Deliverance already won. That's a decent 4 in the AFC North. Last but not least, I believe, is the AFC South. Oh, no, I got 2 more. I got the AFC West, too. Let me see here. All right, with this one, we got the Colts. Spoto, Mr. Hitstick, Nose Boy, Team Elijah. I'm assuming that's for True Boy. Shout out to him. Nose Boy, I don't know who that is. Hope you had fun. Mr. Hitstick, Spoto, Mr. Hitstick. I want to say he won it last year. Spoto, obviously, I always thought the Colts was one of the weaker clubs. So he went there and definitely has an inside track. I got to go with Spoto for this. Mr. Hitstick's always been a decent player for sure. But I got to pick Spoto on that one. The young cat, the last time we saw him, he was throwing a temper tantrum running off the stage. Shout out to Spoto. The Jaguars, Jet. Jet is a triple OG. He will tell you he doesn't play the game like these kids. He has 3 kids. He can't, you know. Jet, of all these man players that I talk to and all these man players I'm close friends with and all the people that are man junkies, Jet is the one person you talk to And Jet will make it seem like he got it all figured out. Like he's the best player ever. And listen, anybody that has talked to Jet probably feels the same way. Jet will sell you a dream about how good he is in the game, how prepared he is, and how, these kids aren't ready to play under the lights. This is what I do. I'm a Madden tournament veteran, blah, blah, blah. Jet will sell you that dream. And I don't know any of these guys. I heard Fat Rat is sneaky. Nick is beast. I know this guy. I think he's on Twitter a lot. Mayo. I want to say I kind of know these guys. But I got to go with the veteran Jet to win this. So we got Spoto, Jet, Joe Rice. Wesley, obviously, is already in the Texans. Titans, this is rest in peace to Spot Me because this would be his club. And Silent Soldier, definitely former, last year he won the Houston Texans, I believe. Yeah, I think so. Silent Soldier did win the Houston Texans, so he's definitely, I mean, he's got a lot of experience. He definitely does, so it's hard to pick against Silent Soldier with that much experience. Red Rum, BKP, I don't know who you are. Crit, I know he's always in the chat. Shout out my man Crit. I'm going to pick Silent Soldier, man, because I haven't seen Crit play. I know he's pretty decent, but Silent Soldier, man, just the experience. Can't pick against him. I'm going to go ahead with the chalk here, too. Spoto, Jet, Silent Soldier. Boom. Hopefully this matchup we get to watch, Jet versus Joe Rice. That's going to be worth all the popcorn. Last but not least, we got to go over here to the AFC, West. Broncos. We got whatchamacallit. We got franchise. This is a sneaky good club right here. Not sneaky good, but sneaky even. Like, if you could throw these four, this is going to be tough right here, man. Franchise, I feel like I've knocked franchise out of 5 different tournaments, really. I feel like if it wasn't for me, franchise would have way more live event appearances, way more money in Madden. Like, I have knocked franchise out of a lot of shit, to be honest. And beat him in a lot of club games, too. Like, I really have beat, and they've all been close games. He just always loses to me. That's all. Like, so if I wasn't around, which I'm not around this year, I'm not playing, franchise might make a run, honestly. But I know Jeff plays with some good players. He's part of, that PlayStation 4, them kids, y'all kids on PlayStation 4 that are nerds. Jeff is definitely part of that group, so he's probably going to be well prepared. T. Moore, here's another one. Cowboys Club Series champion, transferred to another team. As a lot of people, that's the third one between Silent Soldier, Primetime, and T. Moore. These are guys that won their club and decided to go to another club. Don't know why. I feel like if I just won the Cowboys, I'm going to go ahead and keep playing with the Cowboys. I got to defend my belt pretty much. And then Anarchy. I don't know Anarchy, but I've heard his name a little bit. So I think he can be pretty decent. But these 3 guys alone are pretty decent Madden players. Pretty good Madden players, honestly. So that's going to be a good one. I wish I could watch it. But we won't be able to watch franchise versus Jeff or Jeff versus T. Moore or franchise versus T. Moore. We won't be able to watch those games. But if I got to pick one, I got to pick my man franchise. Like I said, I'm not in the event, so he's going to do pretty good. And then the next one, the Chargers, this is the game Problem versus Allen. Allen is a little 16-year-old that doesn't leave the house, so he's good at the game. Problem is a 30-year-old man with a kid. But I got to go with the old GOAT Problem, right? I think Allen's going to shit the bed when he sees the bright lights. Now, this is where if I'm Problem, I'm a little upset. I'm a little bit upset. If I'm Problem, I want these kids under the brightest lights. Because Problem's done it, been there, done that, played under the brightest lights. So he has all the experience in the world. The smaller the game, the more comfortable Allen is going to be. If there's not people in the crowd, if there's not, 20,000 people watching on Twitch, Allen's going to be a little more comfortable. Now, if you put the bright lights, you put some people in the crowd, you put the commentating, you put the little clipboard chick behind you writing shit down, making sure you're doing, then all of a sudden it feels like a different game. It feels like an MCS game. Then all of a sudden, Allen might, knees start shaking, hands start sweating a little bit more. But the fact these games aren't being broadcasted helps Allen. That's how I feel. It helps him out. It gives him an advantage. but I'm still picking Problem. Problem's going to be prepared. If you think a little 16-year-old going to come here and knock off Problem, you're tripping. I don't care how good Allen is at the game. I'm picking Problem. Franchise, Problem. Chiefs is probably, shout out to all the guys that came out in Chiefs Beast Mode. If you lose this, you got to give your belt back, bro. That's simple and plain. The draft champions belt is only like a half a belt, but if you lose this club series, you got to get that shit back. Shout out to Flash and Ward Daddy in sports. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Check out the D. Ask for Eddie. He's going to be there. He'll say you a man player, you in the tournament. He'll take care of you. The Raiders, this is a good one, man. Pavon and Scheming is going to be a good game. Obviously, Pavon is one of he won it last year. One of the sneaky good young cats in Madden. Really good bunch players. Scheming is a guy that's going to do some shit that not everybody else does. Run the ball, play good defense. Oh, yeah, I can't even see this one. Let me move this over a little bit. Boom. Pavon, Scheming. If I'm picking this one, I think Scheming gets his revenge, man. Let's go ahead. Oh, man, this is tough. Yeah, I'm going to pick Scheming. I'm going to say get his revenge on Pavon from last year. Franchise, Problem, Beast Mode, Scheming. Those are my picks for the AFC West. So I went through all these players. Definitely tons of games I wish I could watch. Tons of players we're not going to get to watch because of the way this is, because we're not streaming anything, because these teams didn't want to pay for an event, and EA doesn't want to pay to stream another team's event. It's pretty crazy, but that's what we're going to have to live with, from here on out. So we won't get to watch these games. Hopefully by next Tuesday, somebody will leak the results. I don't want to be the one to leak the results. I don't want to be that person. That's not my character. I'm not going to do anything to hurt what they have going on production-wise. So we'll see if it's something I can talk about next week. If not, we can definitely talk about the two conference title games between the Rams and the Saints, who I got the Saints winning, and between the Chiefs and the Patriots, who I have the Chiefs winning. Both number one seeds. I have both of them winning this weekend, both home teams. And hopefully those results are leaked to these club series. I'm going to be refreshing Twitter every chance I get. I wish not only would they announce that they're not streaming these games, are they going to announce who won the game right away? Is this something they're going to hide? Is this something that's, that's going to be public knowledge? Or are they holding it for the next week? What is the plan, essentially what I'm saying? And that's where we go into the communication with the players, communication with the Madden fans. There is none, because we don't know what the plan is for this thing. How are we going to know the results? That would be nice to know that, because today you told us we're not streaming them. Okay, that's cool. How are we going to know the results? So hopefully next week we know the results so we can put up that giant, we're going to have a giant bracket. We're going to have some type of bracket challenge. That's what I'm going to do. For the podcast or for the stream, whether it's a stream or the podcast, we're going to have a bracket challenge. Whoever wins this, we're going to give away some money. We're going to give away some cards, preferably some money. That's what we're going to do. But as soon as we get the final 32, I'm going to release that on Twitter. So make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. We'll definitely release that on YouTube too. And it's something I'm going to look forward to doing the bracket. And NCAA tournament style, we're going to do the bracket, see who wins the club series. Hopefully next week we have these results. If we don't, it's definitely going to be some more stuff we talk about. Like I said, very disappointed in them not learning from the past and not learning from what we want as a community and what we want as Madden fans, because we're not getting that. It's definitely something we're disappointed in, and I'm going to continue to express my frustration. It's a lot easier for me to view these things, have opinions on these things, having played in all these events, and now not playing and just watching these events and how they unfold, not having the stress on my shoulders to comment on some of these things, or the stress on my shoulders to play in these events. It's a lot easier to judge them and a lot easier to express my feelings freely, and I will continue to do that. It takes a lot for me to throw somebody under the bus. It takes a lot for me to criticize people that, honestly, I don't know what goes into the job of MCS commissioner. I don't. But I know what goes in the job of being a leader, and that is, we don't have a leader right now. And that's my biggest characteristic that I look into in somebody, is their leadership values, whether it be a commissioner, a president, a teacher, a coach, whatever it be, somebody that's in a job where people listen and people are supposed to respect this man's opinions, his ideas, his direction, his choices. And that's what I look for, leadership, and that's what we don't have. And that's all I really can judge, because like I said, I really don't know what goes into being a commissioner. I don't know what goes into all these decisions. I just judge from what I think and why I think they chose these things. I could be wrong, but it's just my opinion as an elite Madden player, and my opinion as an elite Madden fan, and someone that's been heavily involved in MCS the last couple of years and heavily invested in MCS the last couple of years. So all I can do is keep voicing what I'm not happy with and what I'm happy with. What I'm happy with is we have more Madden games to talk about. Might not have the results next week, but we will talk about something. I appreciate all you guys for coming out. I really do appreciate all the interest you have in the podcast. Like I said, I didn't want this to be too spicy. At year's end, I'll probably do a super spicy, just MCS, just crushing the stuff I don't like. But I would have to gather a lot of facts and a lot of people's opinions on the things that I don't like and the things that really turned me off this year. So when it does get super spicy, man, definitely it will be something very detailed and very entailed with a lot of guests and a lot of people talking about what they like and don't like. So I appreciate all you guys for coming through. If you're on YouTube, hit that little like button, that little thumbs up there for me. I really appreciate all the feedback you guys give me. So this was Needed Podcast episode 13. I will see you guys next week.